It has been officially 12 months since I moved in to this ex-U-Haul box truck. So I've been living and working in this 100 square foot space, living and working. And it has not been at all as I expected. And I kind of wanted to break it down today. I've got some notes with me, but I kind of wanted to break down what my first 12 months of van life has been like. What was my expectation and kind of what was my reality. So thank you for joining. Let's dig in. So the very first thing that I want to say is that it has been unexpectedly achievable. And that may sound like some motivational nonsense, but it's true. I had no experience. I have never built anything before in my life. If I can do it, anyone can. I learned everything about my building out this truck through YouTube, through other people doing it, through like watching them, writing stuff down. I didn't have any help, but I did it. And the first thing I want to let people know is that if you're considering it and you're like, oh, I don't know whether I can do it or not, and you can do it. You can do it. You'll find a way to do it your way, to make it happen and to figure it out yourself. Got a neighbor walking by. You know, my build is not a professional build at all. It is, it is amateur, but I did everything myself, and the people that have come to visit, I've had people, pass through and check it out. They are all really impressed. They're not thinking that it is professionally, it's not a professional RV, but they're really impressed with what has been done, how spacious it feels, how everything is set up personally. So it is something that honestly anyone can do. You will learn how to do it, you'll figure it out. And the only thing that I would say is that planning is one thing, but for your build, just leave yourself more time to screw up. I screwed up a lot. If you look at any of my previous videos, I have screwed up so many times. So just leave that time in to do it. And a personal tip from me is do not, unless you've done this before, do not live in it and build it out at the same time, unless you absolutely have to, because my God, that is tough. But like I said, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So that's the first thing. The next thing that I would say is van life is mostly just life in a van. And I know that sounds really dumb, but even though this has had the biggest impact on my life, most of the stuff that was there in the past is still there now. So any problems or challenges or worries or whatever that you have, van life is probably not going to solve them. It may help, it may aid things a little bit, but for the most part, van life is, all of the normal challenges that people have, except it's in a van rather than a house or an apartment. So just bear that in mind as well. I'm not saying to not do it, but what I'm saying is that if you're using van life as part of trying to overcome a lot of the challenges, I know a lot of people are sort of doing that. Just make sure you're also taking action on those challenges at the same time, because life will get in the way, as it does in whether you're rich or poor. Life will always throw you challenges, and that will still happen in van life. It is not some, perfect scenario. So just bear that in mind as well. So that is maybe something that, in terms of expectations, that is something that I've learned, is that, shit still happens, unfortunately. And the reason why I say that is because my first 3 months was a massive culture shock, I guess. I mean, going from a house, going into, a 100 square foot space, I think most people assume that it will have a kind of an impact. But for me, it had a massive impact. The first 3 months, it took me a while to really get used to it. Living in this sort of space, you are much closer to the outside than you are in a building. Buildings have, usually double thick walls and some sort of insulation. So you're closer to a lot of noises. So especially if you're doing things like stealth camping or whatever it is, but even if you're parked up, the sounds of animals, the sounds of the weather, the sounds of people, street noise, it is closer than you think. And most of the time during the day, you don't really notice it that much. But at nighttime, when your body is going into relax mode, I think my safety mode was kind of clicking on a lot more in the first 3 months. So it was kind of a big shock for me for the first 3 months. You get a totally different routine, which again can be a good thing or a bad thing. Getting into a new routine, getting out of the habit of driving back home, especially if you sort of are in the area to where your previous place was or whatever, that is very, very different. You know, not having a building to go back to is a very different feeling. So it's a very different routine as well. I am very happy with it now. I feel way more resilient as a result of all of this, but it is definitely a very different situation for your brain to get used to. So that was something that I was not expecting at all. I kind of expected to just kind of slide into it and get over it, but it took a little while to adjust. Definitely about 3 months it took to adjust. My absolute favorite thing about it is saving money. It has been, once you get all of the initial expenses out of the way, which happens with every sort of van build, but the amount of money that you can save if you do things the right way, I've learned so much about just general efficiency in life. I feel like I've kind of leveled up as an adult in doing this, using things like solar panels, learning all about that. Obviously, depending on how you do van life, you can do it extremely, extremely cheap. You can do it very cheap, but like, unless you have no idea of sort of any sort of budgeting, if you do van life, I'm pretty confident that you will save money. That's why a lot of people do it. You know, for me, I paid off a lot of debt, which was awesome. So I was able to do that. In living smaller, it means that you kind of buy less. So I've kind of now got into a habit where if I buy something, I have to think, is it going to fit in this small space? I can't buy big things. And it's made me, the less that I bought big things, the less I want big things as well. So it's had a knock-on effect where I'm actually living a lot smaller in terms of what I own, but that in itself has helped me save money. I've become a lot more efficient with my finances as well. Just sort of like when you have to build everything yourself and get into a routine and all of that sort of stuff, like it means that you kind of a little more selective as to like, what am I spending my money on? What is gonna have a multi-function rather than just one use. I buy less kind of throwaway stuff, and I'm looking a lot more at like buy it for life kind of items, which, you know, saves money in the long run. But you also learn how to fix issues yourself as well, rather than paying someone. Pretty much every single issue within this place, if something's broken or turned off or whatever, I've replaced it myself. I built this whole place from scratch. So I've learned the skills in order to be able to fix something. So I know if my plumbing goes crazy, I know that I can fix it because I built that system. So that's also saves money as well. But also the insurance. Insurance is cheaper when it comes to RV living. It's cheaper than rental insurance and car insurance combined. So you save on insurance as well. So it's definitely a great way to save money, that's for sure. But I think most of all, it has made me much more deliberate. I mean, like just within this space itself, I have one area to work in. This is my work area. This is where I spend my daytime, and I have to be very deliberate with that. And then once I finish my work time, then I can come over to my relaxing area and my relaxing sofa, watching TV kind of area. You know, my TV's over here, so this is kind of my relaxing space. When I want to cook food, this is my kitchen area. I've got my little toaster, I've got my cooking stuff in here as well. So it has made me a lot more deliberate with what I do, which stops me from watching the TV while I'm working, because like I'm here and TV would be behind me and all that sort of stuff. So it has just given me this extra sort of deliberateness to what I do, which has been really helpful and really surprising. It's helped me to be more efficient with not just work, but with relaxing and turning my mind off as well. When you live in a 100 square foot place, you need to make sure that you are being very deliberate with what you do. And that includes like socializing with people. People walk outside and around and stuff where I'm at. But it's been really good because I know that if I have a 15-minute break, I can be like, okay, I can 15-minute go outside and I can go and speak with someone, but I've got to be back in 15 minutes kind of thing. So I've definitely been a lot more deliberate with what I do and how I do it for the last 12 months. And it's built up and it's gotten even better as time has gone on. So that was something that I found very surprising. So that has been my 12 months so far. I have a million more things to say about it, but I don't want to make this video too long. But I kind of want to hear from you guys. Are you a van lifer? If so, how was your first 12 months? I'd be very, very interested in hearing that. But if you're not a van lifer and you're just considering doing this, what do you expect your first 12 months to be like? How do you think, what challenges do you think will come up? I would love to hear what people's experiences are. But thank you for joining me. I will be doing some sort of a van tour at some point, I think, but not just yet. Still tons to do. Thank you again. That's it for now. For now, I'm clocking out.